What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. In this video, I want to talk about Soulmask, a new survival game coming to the Steam store sometime in 2024. Now, this has been on my radar for quite some time, and I've had the pleasure to have the opportunity to participate in multiple beta tests for the game. I would say, all in all, I probably have somewhere around 250 hours playing Soulmask over the 3 different beta tests that I've been a part of. Now, IGN recently featured a trailer for Soulmask, and it announced a demo that everyone will be able to play starting February 5th. And with that, I thought I would make a video kind of explaining why I like the game and give you an early beta test review of Soulmask. For those of you that may not be familiar with Soulmask, it is a survival sandbox building simulator as described by Steam. Escaping a deadly sacrificial ritual, you find an ancient mystical mask on your journey. This mask holds potential knowledge, changing the world you knew. Face the harsh challenges of nature, survive, rally followers, and build your own tribe. Explore and unveil the truths behind the enigmatic mask. Soulmask will launch at some point in 2024 into early access. It will have both a single player and online modes. You will be able to choose from official servers and host your own private servers as well. It will have a PvP and PvE game modes for you to choose from. So let's jump into the survival type mechanics that Soulmask has. So obviously, as any good survival game has, it has a hydration and a satiation system. So you do need to eat and drink during your journey through Soulmask. The amount of hydration and satiation will affect the way your character performs. Additionally, the food adds buffs to your character, so better foods, better buffs. And you can stack those buffs on top of each other, so different types of foods will give you different types of buffs, and you can stack those to be an even better character. It also has an in-depth building system. Now, currently in the state of the game, the building system does have a few bugs and it needs some polish, but overall the foundation for the building system is there, and it just needs a few tweaks to make it really user-friendly. But I think anybody who's built in any survival game up to this point will be able to pick up the building system in Soulmask and just run with it. It's rather intuitive and really easy to use. Obviously, with base building comes a decay mechanic, something to clean up servers where people have decided to no longer play. This mechanic is multifaceted in this game. One part of it is that you need to have a campfire placed at your main structure, and when you have the campfire there and it is lit and running, it will stop decay entirely. Once that campfire runs out of fuel, the decay will start in your base. Additionally, there's a damage system from rain that kicks in as well, so you want to make sure that you have everything covered with roofs. Floors do not work, they don't stop the rain from damaging your items. The campfire also claims an area for your base, so other people can't build inside that area, and that is visually represented for the builder in game. It will also let you know if you are placing an item inside or outside of your campfire range. Anything placed inside the campfire range is going to benefit from the campfire being there, and it will not decay. The campfire also serves a function for your followers, who are called tribesmen in Soulmask. Your tribesmen will huddle around the campfire to keep themselves warm and keep themselves in a good mood. And mood for your character and your tribesmen plays a large role. The worse the mood, the less the tribesman or yourself wants to do, and so you always need to be managing moods and morales for your entire group. An example of how your poor mood could affect your character would be your encumbrance and your stamina. If you have low morale, you simply won't be able to carry as much or have as much stamina, emulating the fact that your character is depressed and simply doesn't want to do anything. Now, while this may sound very overwhelming at first, it really isn't. There are multiple ways to raise your mood and to raise your tribesman's mood, so you can use things like hot tubs or the beds to raise morale and mood and make your character as strong as it possibly can be, and your tribesmen work as hard as they can. And the tribesman system is super in-depth. While it's not overly complicated, there's a lot that you can do with your tribespeople. So they can defend your base. You could set up patrol routes so that they defend around your base. You could set up harvesting points for tribesmen to harvest resources and store them in your base. You can make it so that they craft certain items for you, and all the while they're doing all these things, they are leveling up in multiple different ways. Additionally, you can take them out to fight with you as a follower or a companion, and then once you unlock the ability to control them, you can change up your gameplay style very easily by controlling another one of your tribesmen that may have different perks than what you have. All of this comes together to create a very immersive experience with your tribespeople, because you are really involved in managing what they do, what they eat, how they interact with the different benches, and the inventory system. There's a lot of automation that can be done with this system so that you can sit back, relax, and enjoy being the commander of your tribe or the king of your castle. One of my favorite things about Soulmask is the control feature. Being able to take the mask off and put it on another tribesman and play as that tribesman. On top of tribesmen, there is animal husbandry, and it works in a lot of different ways. Some animals you can tame and actually use as a mount, like alpacas, llamas, ostriches, and even some leopards and black panthers. Each one of them having their own specific skill set for what they can do. For example, a llama is going to be able to carry a lot more weight, or even carry a knocked out NPC back to your base, where riding a leopard is going to give you the fastest travel around the map. And I haven't tamed one yet, but apparently the ostriches have the ability to float from high up places, allowing you to jump off a cliff and float down to safety. There are also animal pens to keep turkeys or capybaras, and those will produce resources for you. There's also a farming system in the game that has a lot of depth to it, where you will need to add certain fertilizers to the soil. You'll have to use herbicide and insecticides to keep your crops healthy, and obviously water them. Again, as you progress through the game, all of this can be automated with your tribesmen, so you really can have an experience where they are farming and taking care of the food, and you are able to go out and engage in whatever content you want to at any point in time. Soulmask uses a multi-leveling system, so there is a character level, there's a mask level, there's an awareness level, there are proficiency levels, and it all sounds very confusing up front, but it really isn't once you have some time to interact with the different leveling systems. While you are doing anything, whether it's crafting or exploring or fighting, you will be gaining experience. Obviously, as you are playing the game, if you want to get the most out of the experience, you should be crafting and harvesting or fighting all at the same time, so that you're gaining the experience for all of those different areas. Proficiencies happen to be a little bit different. You don't just gain proficiency for mining if you're out fighting, or for logging if you're out mining. You have to engage in that task in order to level it up. So if you want to level up in mining, you have to go out and mine in order to level that up. And like I was saying earlier with playing as the tribesman, if you decide that you've reached a certain level with one character and you really kind of want to start leveling someone else up, you can just switch to one of your tribesmen to level them up. There's no need to restart the game to have that early gameplay experience all over again, as you can level up other tribespeople. One of the nice things about Soulmask and the recipe system is it actually is mostly all there for you to see from the beginning of the game. So you always have some idea of what you can be doing next to improve your base or your character or progress through the game. There are still secrets that are in Soulmask, but there isn't anything that is necessarily gated by those secrets that you wouldn't be able to enjoy the game without finding those. But even with the secrets, like the fact that there are more masks than the initial 3 that you start out with, there are places where if you look closely and you pay attention to what you're reading, it will point you in the direction to let you know that that's out there and available for you to discover. Now, there are definitely things that Soulmask needs to work on. Now, keep in mind these have been early beta tests that I've participated in, and there is still a lot of time for them to refine and to polish these things. There are issues with the servers currently where they don't stay stable, and I think they can fix that by having regular restarts of their servers. Additionally, there are some combat issues that I've come across that I feel like the combat system just needs a lot of polish. On top of that, there hasn't been a full audio design done with the game, which I have to say I'm really looking forward to seeing how that flushes out the gameplay. On top of that, I feel like there's some visual cues that are missing from combat that at times just make the combat slightly frustrating. The invasion system, which is much like the purge system if you're familiar with Conan Exiles, does need some tweaking. Currently, it captures over 2 hours of your gameplay time, and the bosses that come during those invasions can be quite difficult to defeat. There are still some areas of the game that don't display text correctly, but again, all of these things can be flushed out and refined as they gain feedback from the different beta tests that they hold. Now, if you're interested in playing the game outside of the demo period that starts on February 5th, you should join their Discord. The links are in the description of this video, and they do announce on there when they'll have future beta tests and how to join them. As a final note here, I told you guys earlier on in the video that I have a ton of time invested in this game, and I absolutely love it. Every time I get access to Soulmask, it seems to consume me again, and it's all I want to do is play Soulmask. So much so that at times, I'll allow my channel to suffer by not making content for my channel and just continuing to play the game. You can either say that I have rose-colored glasses and I already love this game, so that's why I'm giving it a recommendation, or you can look at the game for yourself, figure out if what I'm saying about the game aligns with the way that you feel about it, and make a decision on whether it's worth it for you. But I will say right now, I will absolutely continue to play Soulmask in the future and cover it right here on my channel because I'm already invested in the game so much, and I really enjoy the loops and this cycle of gameplay for Soulmask. Don't forget to whack the like button on your way out and let me know in the comments section below, have you had a chance to play Soulmask? I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. I've got older live streams from just playing Soulmask uploaded on my channel, and I've linked one of those on the screen right now if you want to see more about the game.